Thank you for joining me today. I have confessed to being an idealist. Yeah, I like to look on the positive. I like to live in my own private Idaho, I like to live in my own world. I'm an idealist, and frequently in my life, people would just say, "Get real, John," like deal with the real world. And I want to confess to you that I do deal with real world, and the only real benefit to these videos is that I'm not enlightened and that I'm sort of an idiot, and my teachers are always giving me good advice, okay, which I share, right? And I make more mistakes than most people, which is very useful, especially if you have guidance, right? So when people would come to my seminars and they'd say, "Get real, man. You need to worry about the world." And I'd say, "What are you talking about?" And they'd say, "Look, haven't you seen the news?" I'd say, "What do you mean?" And they'd turn on the TV, like, look at this, the problem's here, and look at this. I'd say, "Well, that's not anything. That's just a gray box with lights coming out of it and sounds." Okay? And then people would get kind of frustrated with me, and they'd know I was crazy because I'm not paying attention to it, because here and now, it's not happening. So the closest you can get to getting real is being here now. And really, the only thing that's happening is sounds are coming out of a hole in my face. And you can make them mean whatever you want. So when I was doing coaching and leading these seminars, people would tell me this story, to which I would sometimes snarkily say, "Oh, story," although I would do that to myself. But they'd be telling me this dramatic story, this drama. "Oh, and he said this, and she said that." And I would say, "Well, what would a bird sitting on a branch see?" It was called bird's eye view. And the bird would just see two people with holes in their face, and the holes were flapping and sounds were coming out, okay? So getting real is being here now and not being nutty. And nutty simply means negatively using the imagination. So we need to get real about what is real. What's real is what's happening. If you're painting a picture, you're painting a picture, okay? If you're sitting at a table, you're sitting at a table. If you're speaking, you're speaking. But people confuse story with reality, and the Bad News Network thrives on it. "Oh, here's the latest thing you need to be afraid of, blah, 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 blah." So love is real. I just like that one. Love is real. Here and now is real. Love is real, and everything else is a request for it. I like that. I made that up, sort of. Love is real. God is love, or whatever. And the news is the news, but that's just not necessarily real, okay? But forgiveness is a power, that works to undo these churning stories, and it's sort of real. It's not really real because you're just forgiving a story that you have, but it gets you closer to real. It gets you closer to here and now, Here and now is real. Here and now is usually always okay. And do the next right thing, okay? So I'm trying to get real, okay? And I'll try to always get real and not be so idealistic, but I have too much fun with that, okay? So, beware of the sounds that you make, the stories that are being told all over the place, and just get real here and now, okay? And have a really nice day. Thank you.